one of the major contenders for the office of the Senate President in the year to be inaugurated Nice Senate, Ahmed Lawal, has unveiled his legislative agenda in Abuja. At the ceremony attended by senators-elect across political party lines, said the Senate presidency under his watch will focus on national interests.
The legislative agenda we are going to unveil is just to tell the Nigerian public what we think we need to do. In other words, it's our vision of what the Senate and the next assembly should be, what the focus of the Senate should be, what the engagements of the Senate. And at the risk of sounding like a reviewer, let me say that we have two segments, major segments. One, how we can make ourselves as senators and committees of the Senate very efficient and for optimal performance of our responsibilities. The second major segment is what we think this country requires and expects us to do. We all know that until we are able as a Senate, individual senators and committees, to achieve, there won't be the raw materials that the executive arm of government will need to perform creditably. So it is essential that each and every one of us in the Ninth Senate is able to perform very well, is able to bring to bear those very profound experiences that every one of us is bringing to the Senate.
Meanwhile, a candidate for the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, who was at the public presentation of the legislative agenda, said the House and Senate will work together to better the lot of Nigerians.
And I know we have the same vision for the National Assembly. In the House, we have run a very robust campaign, myself and Honorable Wase, my deputy, just as Senator Lawal has done. I am so elated to see that before us here, we have senators from the APC, senators from the PDP, and my great brother, Senator Ifeanyi Owa, who probably will be a senator of the APC very soon as well. The reason why I'm happy, because I believe in our campaign, the theme of our campaign in the House has always been, for those of you who have followed us, nation building, a joint task. And on the logo of that campaign, you will find the logo, a smaller logo of every single political party that is represented in the House. Because we believe that this is not a task for APC. It's not a task for PDP. It's a task for every political party in Nigeria today.
Senator Ali Ndume is the only challenger of Ahmed Lawal in the race for the Senate presidency. Senator Kabiru Gaya from Kano South has said he's still in the race for the office of the Deputy Senate President of the Nice Senate. Gaya, in a chat with journalists in Abuja, said he has not stepped down from the race as the ruling party APC has not zoned the position of the Deputy Senate President to any section of the country. He said he's the most qualified for the office of DSP following his experience as the former governor and a ranking senator. However, he said if the party eventually zone DSP to a particular section of the country, he said he will accept the decision of the party in good faith.
we have no objection where these things moves to. We are very comfortable with Baja Miller as our speaker. Baja Miller is from the southwest. We have no problem with that, he's winning. We have vice president from the southwest. We are not objecting. We are supporting that. So why should we now think because Senator Kabiru Gaya comes from northwest and the president comes from that, I shouldn't go for deputy senate president? I didn't want to even go for the other way around. If it's not going to my section, I will abide with the party. I don't think I should quarrel with my party. Maybe the party thinks best for us. And even when Amin Lam was voting, it was a party. We endorse that. So I don't think I will have quarrel with the party. But what I'm requesting that the party should do justice in the interest of peace, success of APC 2023.
One of the contestants to the Senate presidency of the Nice Senate, Danjuma Goje, has withdrawn from the race. He has also endorsed Senator Ahmad Lawal, the anointed candidate of All Progressive Congress for the job. The latest development followed a meeting with both senators held with President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday in Abuja. Kaduna State Governor Nasiru El-Rufai confirmed the outcome of the meeting to State House Correspondent.
To report to you that we just came out of a meeting with our leader and mentor, the President, with distinguished Senator Danjuma Goje from Gombe and distinguished Senator Ahmed Lawan from Yobe and Senator-elect Ubasani from my state to discuss steps to unify our leadership in the National Assembly, starting with the Senate. I'm very pleased to announce that distinguished Senator Goje has agreed to fully endorse and support the choice of the party and that of Mr. President to lead the Senate, that is Senator Ahmed Lawan.
Both Senator Goje and Lawan spoke with a reporter on the matter. Goje said he had withdrawn from the race, adding that he deferred to the wish of the party and that of the president.
Proceed. I want to use this opportunity to thank my teaming associates, supporters, admirers across the country who have been calling me to declare for the Senate presidency. The calls have come from across the country. I have listened to them. I appreciate them and I thank them very well. But I want to say that as an elder man, because I've been in this game for a long time, by my age, I should be able to appreciate leadership coming from our elders. So in spite of all this costs, in spite of the support I have among my colleagues, senators and senators-elect, I have decided, in difference to the loyalty I have for His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, and in difference to my loyalty to my party, APC, in the interest of the unity of our party and the development of this country, in order to assist Mr. President to deliver on his promises, I have decided to respect his wish by not declaring to contest this Senate presidency. Instead, I am supporting the position of the party and its own position, thereby endorsing the candidature of Senator Ahmed Lawan.
Well, thank you very much. Let me thank Mr. President, our leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, for giving us the leadership that we need at this point and always. We have just come out of a closed-door meeting, as it were, just like His Excellency Governor Nasru El-Rufai said. For me, this is a great day and a very important moment for the race or the contest for the office of the President of the Senate. The endorsement by Senator Goje is going to bring so much unity in the APC and indeed in the entire Senate in a very bipartisan fashion. I believe that that is the way to go, and we want to go there into the ninth Senate united right from outside, kickstart our activities, very important at this time. The country needs a Senate that is focused and united for optimum performance, and I believe that our colleagues in the ninth Senate or the senators-elect will be happy to hear that this has been achieved.
Discover the tangible magic of our hospitality that is all about you. The Wells Curtain Hotel and Apartments is a surely fantasy-like journey into a glamorous world of pure luxury and gratifying indulgence. The Wells Curtain Hotel and Luxury Apartments offers guests a perfect blend of relaxation, business and pleasure, delicately infused to meet the highest international standards. It's first-class service at its finest. Our commitment to exceed your expectations means impeccable attention to detail, courtesy, and a genuine care for your every need. Located at number 8 Gadonasco Street, off Jose Martin at Sokoru, Abuja, Nigeria. You can call us on +234 908 7561269 or visit our website at wellscurtain.com. Upgrade your stay at the Wells Curtain Hotel and Luxury Apartments, an experience guaranteed to leave you breathless with longing.
The Coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP, has raised alarm over alleged plan by the presidency to impose candidates on the forthcoming National Assembly, which is scheduled for inauguration next Tuesday, June 11, 2019. The coalition spokesman, Imo Ugoshwere, in a press briefing in Abuja, said National Assembly members should be allowed to elect their leaders without presidency interference. The spokesman and 12 other national chairmen of political parties said independence of legislature should be protected and National Assembly should not be a rubber stamp to executive arm of government.
Parliament is now facing existential threats, and all the lessons the founders of democracy and separation of powers taught us are about to be bastardized by the APC with the planned imposition of principal officers of the National Assembly. The principle of separation of power and checks and balances were promoted by our democracy founding fathers for the sake of safeguarding good governance. A.V. Dicey and Baron de Montesquieu will be crying in their graves with the silence of people who are old enough to be our fathers, being pushed up and down to back anointed candidates whose job will be to stamp executive lawlessness and keep silent while impunity reigns. Brothers and sisters, comrades and countrymen, as you are aware, the election of the principal officers of the National Assembly is around the corner. The President has issued proclamation to that effect. The opposition coalition states categorically that despite the fact that we have well over 45 senators and 120 House of Rep members in the coalition, we are not interested in who parliamentarians decide to elect to lead them from among themselves. But that does not mean that as people who have a major stake in the Nigerian project, we shall keep quiet and allow persons convicted of heinous crime of willful dishonesty to come through the back door and hijack power, especially under a government that claims it is fighting corruption.
Meanwhile, the coalition has rejected Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila as the next Speaker of the House of Representatives over alleged conviction by United States Court in Georgia. Ugo Shiori asserted that the federal lawmaker is not competent to be the Speaker of the House of Representatives because he had earlier been convicted of willful dishonesty by the Supreme Court in the state of Georgia in United States. Although he said the CUPP was not interested in who lawmaker decided to lead them, Ugo Shiori pointed out that Gbajabiamila's choice was morally, politically, and constitutionally wrong. He said the CUPP, through the Action People's Party (APP), has commenced criminal proceeding against the lawmaker before Grade 1 Area Court of Federal Capital Territory sitting in Karachi. He explained that the case was instituted because Gbajabiamila had at different times given false information on oath to the Independent National Electoral Commission when he claimed in the commission's form that he had never been indicted by a tribunal or court or administrative panel of fraud or dishonesty.
An issuance of criminal summons against Femi Gbajabiamila by FCT Court and commencement of suit at the High Court to also nullify his election as a member of the Federal House, the ineligibility of Femi Gbajabiamila to contest for the Speakership of the Federal House of Representatives, and rejection of his candidature by the opposition coalition over his indictment for dishonest acts.
However, the campaign team of Femi Gbajabiamila says is heading to court to challenge the position of CUPP. The clerk of National Assembly, Mohammed Sani Omolori, has disclosed that the 9th Assembly will be inaugurated on Tuesday, June 11, 2019. Speaking with journalists in Abuja, he said he's in the receipt of the letter from President Muhammadu Buhari to that effect. According to him, from the 8th of June by midnight, the 8th National Assembly stand dissolved. Similarly, the 9th National Assembly will be inaugurated and first sitting will be held on Tuesday, 11 June by 10 a.m. in the National Assembly complex.
The dissolution of the 8th National Assembly and the other one, the convening of the first session of the 9th National Assembly. The proclamation for the dissolution of the 8th National Assembly takes effect from 12 midnight on the 8th of June. By implication, on the 8th of June at 12 midnight, the 8th National Assembly stands dissolved. Similarly, the 9th National Assembly will be inaugurated and the first sitting will be held on Tuesday, 11th of June by 10 a.m. in the National Assembly complex.
Chairman of that communication, Chief Raymond Dokpesi, has staged a warmer protest to the National Assembly against what he described as plot by the federal government to gag the media and suppression of free speech. Dokpesi and his broadcast station AIT and Ray Power have been in a running battle with the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission over some reports the NPC had considered unprofessional. The NPC accused the station of inciting public against the Independent National Electoral Commission, the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, and the government. The broadcast station have, however, denied the claim, accusing the NPC of making an attempt to influence the editorial stand.
Section 39 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria provides the right to freedom of expression and freedom of the press. Your Excellencies are aware that these rights are formed part of the foundation for the struggle for return to civil rule. The exercise of these rights and the respect of these freedoms also gave strong impetus for the APC's campaign that culminated in victory in 2015 general elections and the first ever defeat of a ruling party in Nigeria and possibly in the whole of Africa. However, in recent times, we have witnessed a very strong attempt by officials within this government to clamp down on media and stifle the right to freedom of expression as contained in the Constitution. Some of the instances include the illegal arrest and detention of Mr. Jones Abiri, a journalist in Bayelsa State, for over 2 years without charge.
Responding on behalf of the Senate President, Senator Shehu Sani, Kaduna Central, assured that though the 8th Senate has already rounded up, the 9th Senate will take up the issue raised by Dr. C.
The Parliament is the guardian of democracy, and it is within our own constitutional responsibility to protect and defend every Nigerian and any Nigerian where there is a clear attempt to undermine his right to freedom of speech. On behalf of the Senate President, who has mandated us to be here, and also the senators who are here, I believe that your issues will be carried to the last, and we will not allow any institution of government to undermine the liberty that we so much fought, where many people have died and sacrificed their lives to entrench in Nigeria. Without struggle, there could not have been freedom. Without struggle, people have died, people have been jailed. To have a democracy in Nigeria, we will not be silenced, or nobody should be silenced, and we will not fold our arms to see people or institutions, components of democracy, being silenced for any reason.
Senator Sani expressed hope that the 9th Senate will ensure that the press is protected from all form of intimidation.